Expecting twins, Bernard and Leonie Kane were surprised when a heavyweight, Bernie, was delivered on April 1st, 1939 at 11 pounds 4 3/4 ounces, breaking the Stevens Point, Wisconsin hospital record. Ironically, heavyweight was his sophomore weight classification for the Madison Central High School wrestling team. His siblings included older sister Mary Alice, younger brother Fred, and baby sister Janet. The family moved to Chicago, Illinois in 1943 because his father started working for the Elgin, Joliet, and Eastern Railroad, nicknamed the Chicago Outer Belt Line. When Bernie was 12, his dad died, and his mother found it difficult to raise 4 children by herself. So in April 1952, Leonie moved her family to Madison, where relatives lived and could help when needed. The early years in Chicago had not provided Bernie with many sports opportunities. He cannot recall any youth programs being offered as he grew up. Any athletic activity involved pickup games of football or 500 with his baseball buddies. Kane's exposure to organized sport occurred his first summer in Madison, when he, some classmates, and neighborhood friends started playing for Optimist Club, a community recreation league baseball team. Bernie's major involvement in athletics really began, however, in his first year at Central Junior High. A cousin decided to try out for football, and Kane decided to tag along. He quickly impressed the coaches and earned a starting position on both the defensive and offensive lines. When football season ended, some teammates decided to play basketball as their winter sport, and again Bernie tagged along. After almost breaking the backboard, he was cut from the team and escorted to the wrestling room. His distinguished wrestling coaching career can be traced back to that inauspicious start in junior high. Kane started to blossom as an athlete under the tutelage of some legendary Central High School coaches. During the mid-1950s, he lettered in football 3 years for Gus Pollock and Boomer Harris, past Hall of Fame inductees. Playing left guard in their scheme involved much pulling and trap blocking, which Kane claims led him to gaining almost as many yards as the team's running backs. As a senior, he was honored as an All-City and second-team All-Conference lineman. Wrestling for Frank Lindell, Bernie lettered 3 times, qualified for the WIAA state tournament twice at 180 pounds, was a WIAA sectional champion, All-City honoree, and conference tournament runner-up. He lettered 3 years for Rip Rooney in track, putting the shot and throwing the discus. More importantly, his coach's interest in his life outside of sports, Kane believes, was instrumental in his growth as a person and his choice of an occupation. Family finances were tight, and even though he had some inquiries about playing football in college, at age 17, Bernie went looking for meaningful employment. Finding none, he took the advice of high school instructors who had attended Stout Institute, now UW Stout, to accept a State of Wisconsin Class B scholarship awarded to the top 10% academically. As a college freshman, Kane won his only state championship wrestling medal in an AAU tournament at 191 pounds. Bernie took a year off from school to work. He married the love of his life, Ruth, June 7, 1958. In fact, a 60th anniversary celebration will be held next week. Mutually, they decided that he should return to Stout to resume his education and athletic career. Kane lettered in football 3 years, in track 1 year, and in wrestling 3 years. Wrestling at Stout was not a sanctioned sport, but a club team. He and several teammates, Louis Milstead and Richard Tepp, decided to build the program and elevate wrestling to a varsity sport. So during his junior year, Kane served as the team's coach, finishing the season with 5 wins and 4 losses. He believes to this day that this was his best learning experience, preparing him to eventually lead the East Side High Wrestlers. After college graduation, Bernie returned to Madison, accepting a contract to teach industrial arts at Sherman Junior High, but after 1 year was transferred to East to teach metals. After a year, he became the sophomore football coach for Butch Mueller, another Hall of Fame inductee, and assistant wrestling coach for 7 years under Bob Reif, a current club member. before becoming head coach for 27 years. In addition to these duties, Bernie was athletic director for 12 years, coordinating 23 sports and 84 teams. Kane recalled at his retirement that, "I originally thought it would be neat to teach at my old high school, but East became like a second home to me. I love the diversity of our student body." During his tenure, Kane's teams posted 158 dual meet victories, won one Big 8 Conference championship, was city dual meet champions 14 times, and had 12 WIAA state qualifiers, with 5 place winners and 2 champions. After a one-year retirement, he returned to middle school wrestling as the MSCR program coordinator for 12 years until 2013. Dennis Semrau, sports journalist, wrote that Kane has played a key role in initiating a middle school program to reinvigorate the sport in Madison. Bernie decided that he needed to contribute more to Madison and Wisconsin wrestling, so he became an official. He was a WIAA official for 42 years and refereed NJCAA matches for 7 years and MSCR matches for 12 years. Bernie was president of the Southern Wisconsin Wrestling Officials Association for 16 years as well. For all of his contributions to wrestling, Kane received the 1984 George Martin Wrestling Coaches Award, the National Wrestling Coaches Lifetime Service Award in 2006, and the WADA Retired Athletic Director Award, and was honored as a member of Eastside High's Hall of Fame inaugural class. From the start, wrestling has always been a family affair. Ma Kane, as his wife is affectionately called, has shared his wrestling endeavor since high school, even to the extent of staring down a referee during one college match. Daughter Penny prints championship charts for the WIAA state tournament. Son Bruce is the office manager for the WIAA tournament and was his assistant coach. Daughter Pam is the home scorekeeper for her high school, and deceased son Dr. Bud was a WIAA state tournament scorekeeper. The Eastside Wrestling family reunions at his farm often have more than 200 attendees. Bernie is very honored and humbled to be inducted into the Madison Sports Hall of Fame, joining the many athletes, coaches, and contributors that have made area sports special and gratifying to so many people. The Madison Sports Hall of Fame Club and Strand Associates Incorporated are honored to welcome Bernard "Bernie" Kane into the class of 2018.